Greetings, dear viewers. Since this Shabbat is both Parashat Tetzaveh and Parashat Zahor, and very soon thereafter, during the upcoming week, we will be celebrating Purim, let us now delve into the theme of Purim, focusing on something deeply connected to this momentous day. The Mishnah in Masehet Megillah says, "One who reads the Megillah out of order has not fulfilled his obligation." Some, in the Baal Shem Tov's name, explain that if one reads the Mishnah purely historically, as a past event irrelevant to this generation, he has not fulfilled his obligation. On the surface, it's a lovely explanation, but what is the point of saying out of order? You should say, one who reads the Megillah as a past event, not out of order. If you say, from a strictly halakhic perspective, that simply means reading it from end to beginning, then if he comprehends the Megillah's content and understands the miracles that occurred during Ahasuerus' reign through Mordecai and Esther, why shouldn't he fulfill his obligation? Then I encountered a rather intriguing explanation conveyed through a particular story. The story starts in this way. In the last generation, until just a few years ago, there was the Admor of Tosh, who had been living since the Holocaust in an area of the city of Montreal in Canada. And, a little outside the city, he was living in the neighborhood called Tosh. He was a very great tzaddik, very famous for his righteousness. People came to him from all corners of the world to receive his blessing. Since the Holocaust, he was known to only doze in an armchair, never sleeping in a bed. He was also a great giver of charity. And one day, a poor man arrived at his home seeking assistance to marry off his daughter. The wedding day neared, but he lacked funds to pay for it. So he took his place in line with others who had gathered there, all hoping to receive the Admor's blessing. An hour, 2 hours, even 2.5 hours went by, and he still wasn't called in to see the Rabbi. Suddenly, he sees a fancy, luxurious car pull up to the entrance of the house, and somehow, after just 4 or 5 minutes, another man is called in. It truly upset him, because I'm penniless, and he's wealthy. He's called in after 5 minutes, yet I've been waiting out here for 2.5 hours, and they won't let me in. He said, "When I see the Rabbi, I'll dare to ask him an explanation." After that rich gentleman departed from the Rebbe's room, the impoverished man was promptly summoned. He then informed the Rebbe that he was on the verge of marrying off his daughter, and although he had sought the Rebbe's counsel on multiple occasions, this particular time he found himself in dire need of substantial funds. He didn't know what to do. He asked for the Rebbe's help and his blessing. The Rebbe then took the sealed envelope that had been resting on the table, presented it to the poor man, and offered him profound words of encouragement and unwavering strength. And before he left, the poor man stood up and said, "Rebbe, I want an explanation. It's a little hard for me that I sat outside for 2.5 hours, and this rich man arrived and got in within 5 minutes. Is there a preference for money here? Because I have no money, I have to wait so long, and because he has money, he gets in so quickly?" The Rebbe smiled and told him, "Look, my assistants told me you were sitting outside, and I knew I needed to give you something. I know you from previous visits, but I had nothing to offer. The charity box was empty. I was waiting for someone with a nice income to bring a nice donation so that I could give it to you. And this rich man, I knew that he always makes significant donations. The envelope he gave me, I passed to you. I didn't open it. Don't know what's inside." The poor man thanked him. "Now I understand the reason," and went outside, where he saw the rich man still talking with someone. The poor man approached the rich man. "Excuse me, are you going to Montreal? Can I catch a ride with you?" The wealthy man agreed. The poor man got into the car. Moments later, the rich man followed, and was stunned. In the poor man's hands was the envelope he had just given the Rebbe, and he was opening it. The Rebbe had never even looked inside. He tells the poor man, "Just a moment." He goes to the Rebbe and says, "Rebbe, I gave you an envelope for $20,000. You didn't open it? Why should I? I don't need to know how much is in there. What's important to me is that the poor man knows how much is there, so he can marry off his daughter with dignity." And really, just think about this story for a moment. The poor man was bothered because of 2.5 hours waiting, thinking he was overlooked. Then the rich man arrived, entered in 5 minutes, and he felt truly awful. Only then did he finally realize that all those feelings of being mistreated and resentful were in fact for his own good, ensuring there would be funds to give him and assist him with his daughter's wedding. So often in life, we feel wronged, we feel bad, things aren't going well, it's hard for us, and we don't understand why. But in the end, we learned that all our feelings of being wronged and suffering were actually for our own benefit. This is the core message we must embrace. Even in periods of hardship, malevolence, or inequity, those experiences ultimately served our greater good. So when you read the Megillah and observe the sequence of seemingly random events, Bigtan and Teresh, the king's sleepless nights, Vashti's demise, Esther then stepping in to take her place, you think, wow, soon they'll destroy, kill, and annihilate all the Jews, and you get worried. No, right from the beginning, believe that everything is happening for our good. All events, the Megillah sequence, are for the good, so the tables turned, so that the people of Israel would be saved and the Jews would have light and joy. That is the message. So reading the Megillah out of order means that someone who only reads the happy ending, the good part, where the Jews were in control and had light and gladness, and only then starts to remember that the suffering was for our good, has not fulfilled their obligation. You must, from the very beginning, not out of order, read the Megillah knowing that every single stage, even if it seems bad, is for our benefit. Happy Purim.